thanks so much for joining me for my preview of the 2019 Georgia Bulldogs. For this occasion, I have penned a tune. Yeah. That's my baby girl here. Georgia, Georgia, are you gonna piss away the talent you have? Oh, you knew I was gonna have to take a jab at you. Put down my guitar. Thanks so much for joining me. Listen, if you don't know me, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. The Lord will richly bless you. Okay, so there's Clemson, Alabama, and then who? And for the past couple of seasons, it's been an argument between Georgia, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. I love saying Oklahoma because it's semi-funny. But this is my opinion, outsider looking in, from a fan of the defending national champions 2 out of the past 3 years. It's you guys. In fact, you guys have been this close for a very long time. Now, I know if I went back and I looked at some of your records over the past 15 years, and I know you had that other coach and you don't want to talk about it. Let's be honest with ourselves. Everybody else looking into Athens can say you've been that close for a very long time. So you get Kirby, and Kirby has the first season. It's rebuild season. It should have been like an exhibition season. They don't even put it on his record. They don't even put it on Wikipedia. And then a second season comes out there. Eason goes down. Fromm comes in. He's killing it. You nearly shut down NBC when you beat Notre Dame. You had that one head scratcher where you lost by 23 points at Auburn and stopped chanting SEC. You should have never lost that bad. If you're going to lose a game, that's okay. 23, I don't care. But you got to the national championship. We got the playoff, but we couldn't pass the ball. So we got beat. You got there, you set up, you lost in overtime. It was a great play call. It was a historical game. Tua got famous off of y'all. But you did what you did. And then last season, you had like all of this expectation. And it didn't turn out exactly how you thought it was going to turn out. But stop here. You didn't have a bad season. You ended up in the Sugar Bowl. All right? If you go back over the past 15 years, that's kind of my number right now, and I'll get around to it in a second. You know the best bowl you've been to in the past 15 years? Sugar Bowl. So it wasn't like, oh, boy, we climbed the mountain. Boy, we dropped down to that doo-doo state bowl, that bowl that's in Mobile, Alabama that nobody wants to go to. Now, you're still in the Sugar Bowl. You've been recruiting well. Anytime a non-Georgia fan talks to a Georgia fan, what have we heard for the past 15 years? Did you see how well we recruited? Georgia, I talked to somebody who's really good with numbers. They're really good with statistics. And you know what your average is over the past 15 years of recruiting? 7. Rank 7. Imagine that. That's your average, is top 10. Wow. Bama hasn't been doing it as long as you have. Clemson hasn't been doing it as long as you have. A bunch of people hasn't been doing it as long as you have. You've been this close for a very long time. You just haven't been able to turn the corner. And you were quick to tell us Clemson fans, we know you got Trevor Lawrence, but we got the number 1 recruit in the country. Not anymore. He plays for Ohio State. But you had an outrageous recruiting class, probably one of the best you've ever had. You seem to have some good momentum going. So what are you going to have to do this season? Now, I know who you lost, Baker, Hardman, a few others. But between the returning starters and between that Nolan Smith, Trayvon Walker, George Pickens, that kid could play. And I just keep on going. Clay Webb, you've got all of this. You've got the O-line. And as much as y'all give him crap and say he wrote off the success of Chubb and Michelle, you do have Fromm. And Fromm has national championship experience. So what do you have to do? What do you have to do? And it's for the moment that I'm going to be fatherly, and though he'll probably never see this video, I am going to sit down and have a little talk with Jake Fromm. Jake, buddy, you have been in the spotlight since you were a little kid, hitting home runs in Little League World Series, Warner Robins, Georgia. Spotlight's nothing new to you. Probably dated the prettiest girl your entire life, while some of us had to pay for a pretty girl just to walk beside us. You've had success. But I have to tell you what you're going to have to do this season. You're going to have to use the talent around you, and you're going to have to extend the play. That means when all God's children comes running after you to sack you, you gotta move. And if you do that, and you have the O-line to give you a little heads up and protect you, your team has a great chance of going back to the college football playoff. And that's the end of my talk with Jake. And a lot of you are sitting there going, yes, this loony Clemson fan gets it. I do get it. I'm also going to have to tell y'all something else. Now, this is going to strike a nerve. Don't let it go. Don't get douchey about it. Don't get frazzled. Don't be like Ohio State, who can't figure out for the past 2 seasons why they got left out when they got blown out by nobody teams. They got their nuts hurt, pun intended. The SEC East is still your conference. The majority of the SEC is still your conference. How you got blown out by LSU last year, the most anorexic offense in the SEC. And you got blown out by them that bad? You can't do that this season. But here's the reason why. Stop chanting SEC. I heard you in the back. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, you can keep picking at our schedule all you want to. We could play the toughest schedule in the country. It still does not change anything about your schedule or what you do. You have the talent and you have the coaching to not get blown out like you did against them and then the season before last 40-17 against Auburn. That's not logical. Somebody losing the game, that's understandable. But 3-7, maybe 10 points versus 23, 20, you can't do that. You can't do it. And it doesn't make sense why you would do it because you got the talent. So let's go over the schedule. We're sitting here and talk about players all day. I'm just going to prove it to you by who you're playing. At Vanderbilt, great surgeons, horrible football players. Murray State, I didn't even know that was a thing. Arkansas State, a derivative, that's a big word I just learned, of Arkansas, and Arkansas sucks. Notre Dame, I know you almost shut down NBC when you beat them. All right. Ask Notre Dame how easy it was to play Clemson. You and us, we have a lot of the same talent. We really do. Look at them and then Duke likewise. Y'all should beat them, I believe, by 2 touchdowns. At Tennessee, Jeremy's doing good up there now. He's taking so much stuff he learned. You should still beat them by 2 touchdowns, and if you don't, you need to question the meaning of life. South Carolina, Lord, we loved it when y'all murdered them and you went down to Columbia while they're chanting and going, dropped your drawers, duke it all over it. Loved it. You're going to do it again this year. If you thought they were bad last year, they're just the same this year. Just as delusional as ever. Kentucky, not as good as they were last season. You're going to beat them. Florida, they're bad. Did you see how bad they beat that Michigan team that really wasn't that good all season and then they had a bunch of players sitting out? They're not bad. I don't think they're crap, but y'all should beat them by 2 touchdowns. Well, Bobby, you don't understand the big cocktail party, and if you put your cocktail down, you'll beat the crap out of them. Missouri, you'll play our old quarterback, and you'll beat them. At Auburn, I don't care your history. I don't care what it is between y'all when y'all go down and play on the plains. Auburn has like 14 mascots. War Eagle, Tigers. They got an old woman comes out on a cane. They do a cheer when she walks out. There's no reason why y'all should lose to them this year. What happened if they hit their stride? You have more talent than they do. You have better play callers than they do. You should beat them. A&M. Jimbo Fisher's doing something down there in A&M. But you guys have already surpassed where he's trying to get to. You should beat them. It's going to be a tough game. That's a trap game. I think Florida could be a possible trap game. They're going to play at Georgia Tech. Look, Georgia Tech, they're coming from a 19. I'll just go ahead and tell you this. The last time you could run an offense like that, and it was cutting edge, that they just got rid of, World War II was still going on. So they're having to change from that type of player that they've recruited for 12 years to the player who's going to be able to run the new game plan, and they got to academically get in. It's not going to happen. Y'all are going to beat them. You're going to end up playing Alabama in the SEC championship in Atlanta. You're going to have to come out there, play your best ball, like anybody does when they're playing a good team. Forget if their name is Alabama. But you can't blow it this time. You can't sit there and say it was the power of the Crimson Tide. No, you blew it. And you can't blow it again. You have the talent to do it. I can go through all these players that you got. It means a hill of beans if you don't use them. Remember, your average ranking on recruiting was 7. You've had the talent, or you're going to turn the corner. This is Bobby Dirkens. My phone just started dying on me. It's Bobby Dirkens saying, yeah, I think you're the only one who could play Clemson or Alabama. Hit subscribe, hit the notifications. Find me on Instagram at the Bobby Dirkens, and then on Twitter at B Dirkens, BDIRKENS. Yes, I can spell. It's my last name. Remember, you keep showing up, I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.